it is alleged that he's going to be out for weeks, and we don't know when he's going to be coming back. He got an hamstring injury at the Crystal Palace game and doesn't look good at all for Arsenal. And the other option is that Sterling could have replaced him on that wing. He's also out for some good weeks. I don't know what we're going to do, and it's not a Merry Christmas to the Arsenal fans right now. It's worrying that Bukayo Saka is going to be out, a player that has been relied on for the creativity and everything, a person that has has held the Arsenal team together when they needed someone to provide something. And the whole fan base, I know right now, should be worried because Arsenal has relied on Saka for almost the corner kicks and everything. Bukayo has delivered, and right now I feel like we won't miss that integral part for us to compete for the trophy. I don't know. I don't know whether this could be like 2 weeks or 1 week. But when the news says it's going to be several weeks, one hamstring injury, then most probably it is not something that we could consider to be very small. Arsenal, Arsenal though has now something to think about. We're getting into the January transfers, and Bukayo Saka for a very long time has not had someone to replace him when he goes out of the field. We know Raheem Sterling has been there, but he doesn't play that wing very well as much as he plays the other wing. We know Gabriel Jesus can also try to do that, but right now it's the perfect time for us to go in the market and look for someone that can give Saka competition, someone that can come into the team and improve it. We still have a problem whereby we don't have a striker. We've been relying on Bukayo Saka's goals to save the day, so I think it's a perfect time for us, to go into the market. It's the blessing in this case that our best player has got an injury when you're going to do the transfers. Though we have two matches, and these are crucial matches, we don't have to lose any points. We have Ipswich on Friday, and I think on first we shall be having Brentford. Those are the two matches that we have to play without someone new coming into the team. What are your options? Who do you think could play that number right? Could it be um, Gabriel Jesus? But Gabriel Jesus right now everyone sees him as a goal potential. Can you risk Gabriel Jesus to play that wing? Yet he's good at scoring goals. What what do you expect from Ateta? Do you think that he can do better than that? Do you think Ateta can get a solution out of these players that we currently have, or the best option is to go into the market, look for a player that can play his role, a player that can play that role of Bukayo Saka even when he needs to just rest? Is there anyone in mind that if I bring in if I bring in something, if I bring in this player, he could be the next Bukayo Saka? I know Bukayo Saka has his traits whereby he doesn't give up. He doesn't completely give up in the whole match. He waits even when you think he has a bad game. Bukayo Saka will show you that even if there are bad games, even if it is his worst game, he will just need that one moment to create magic out of something. So I'm wondering, is there any player that you think could play as Bukayo Saka? We know for the fact we know that Bukayo Saka did not start in that number. Do you think in Arsenal we could still get a player that can play Bukayo's number when Bukayo is out? Do you think Ethan can replace Saka and play with Odegaard, play that role? Or do you think we need to go in the market and get a completely new profile of a player that can play that role and give us something extra, something that is different from Bukayo Saka, what Bukayo Saka has been providing? And what options do you have? Who do you think can play like Bukayo Saka? For a very long time, everyone suggested Kudus could play Bukayo Saka's number very well if we go in the market and buy Kudus, but I think Kudus has also been injured for some good time. And I think there are not so many players right now that can competitively play Bukayo Saka's number. If you're talking about Bukayo Saka, we're comparing him with the likes of Vinicius Junior. Or could you bring in Rodrigo, the Madrid player that has been benched because of Mbappe and Paul? Could you go and bring Rodrigo on loan? How about Adegula, the one that is being linked to Arsenal? Do you think it could still be a solution? And talking about goals, who do you think is a better goal scorer, Vlahovic and Vlahovic and Isak? Who do you prefer? Because those are the two names that have been coming up time and again. For me, I'll tell you straight. I know Gukares is good. We could have him if we can have him, but I know for a fact right now he's one of the most expensive players. But if Arsenal plays that trick and goes and brings Vlahovic from Juventus, the guy is a very good goal scorer. He has the pace, he has the physique, and he provides more than just scoring goals. I know, I know the Premiership right now. The Premiership right now needs people that are tall, people that are big muscle. Vlahovic fits in all that. Then when you talk about Gukares is struggling these days. I don't think he still scores the number of goals he was scoring when that Manchester United coach was still at Sporting Lisbon. And the other thing is, Gukares will need some time. I think he's a player you can buy in the August transfer, not in the January transfer, because you need a player that will just come in and start giving you goals. And I don't think Gyökeres can come in and start doing that. I know Isak is the other option that is strongly recommended at Arsenal, but I still feel like Gyökeres Isak at Arsenal. He has been at Newcastle. We have seen him with injuries time and again. We've not been seeing Gabriel Jesus deliver because he has been just out from the injuries. Then someone suggested Marcus Rashford. We know for the last two seasons, Rashford has not been at his best. I don't know why, but could he be a player that can come in and try to cover up Saka's place? We know he has got the pace and he's good. Rashford is good when he's at his best. Remember the time he came from an injury? That was the best time I saw Rashford play football from us. But these days, I feel like Rashford isn't giving in his all. But just like Ian Wright said, you cannot brush off a player who is 27. Ian Wright came at Arsenal at 28, and he made history. He became one of the. Actually, he was the top scorer. He was the guy with the most goals before Thierry Henry came in and took over his record. So bringing in Rashford could be a bonus because we know for the fact that since Arteta did not deny looking at Rashford as an option, he could bring in Marcus Rashford at Arsenal. That could be a possible move. Isak is another possible move, but I feel like for me, I've seen Isak, but the number of times he gets injuries, I don't think he will be like a very good fit. Comment below, tell me, do you think Isak is okay to be at Arsenal? Do you think he would score Arsenal so many goals to make us like take the trophy? For me, my choice would be Vlahovic. I know so many people's favorite is Gukares, but come on, right now is Arsenal ready to spend that amount? I know Bucharest could go something to 100 million right now because he's the hottest cake and every team needs him. Yeah, so Bukayo Saka will be out for several weeks and that should worry every Arsenal fan because we know Liverpool is on a form of its life. It's not losing, it's not dropping points. If you're losing the only person that has been creating for us, then that is trouble. The only person that has been trying to score goals before Gabriel Jesus decided to resurrect from wherever he had gone, and at the time whereby we're seeing Kai Havertz starting to struggle, because I feel like Kai Havertz has been one of our best players, but of recent he has been struggling. I know he gets a lot of bashing from the fans and everyone, the Chelsea side, the Arsenal side. and some people that don't believe in him. So, do you think Arsenal should go at the beginning of the year and get a player immediately with immediate effect, or we can still wait till the transfer is about to get done? And we would have that would have costed us 2 or 3 matches because there's so many games that we need to play around that time. Uh, for a meantime, suggest players that you think that can play Bukayo's number. Me, it could be Gabriel Jesus. It could be Martinelli because we saw Martinelli try, and and I think this guy also could try playing that number, but we don't have a cover for the behind part. I've seen Timber. Timber is full of so many surprises because you see when that guy has the ball with him, he drags the ball up to the box. I don't know whether he can score, but I think he could also try because we saw at Manchester United, Ferguson used to use Ashley Young to play in the up front, and he used also to use this other guy. There's another guy whose name begins with a V. He was a Portuguese. That guy used to that guy used to be a defender. He would run from the back to the front and score goals. So Timber could also be one of the choices that we have, since since Ateta these days has decided to play part in that role. I don't know, but for me it is the worst idea that can never go through a manager's mind, because the only times I'm worried when Arsenal is playing is when Partey is in that number. The midfield is normally taken over. I don't know whether anyone notices that. But when Partey is playing in the midfield, we look the best we can be in the pitch. I know we have players that can still play in the midfield because these days we are blessed with a midfield. We have three people that can play the same role. Partey can play that role, Rice can play that role, and Mikel Merino. And the other thing I should say, as someone that has been bashing a little Mikel Merino, he has greatly improved, and I feel like he's now playing like an Arsenal player. But before, I wasn't understanding his game. There's something about him that was a bit lazy, but at least he has tried to correct all the biases that I had on him. So big up, Mikel Moreno. We need you to do more. We need you to start scoring goals and also creating chances, because that side, that side where you're supposed to play looks dead. I think that's it for today.